You know, when we talk about AI ethics, it's so easy for our minds to jump straight to science fiction, right? But this isn't some philosophical debate for a far-off future. Not at all. It's actually an engineering problem that is being solved right now, as we speak, by embedding our human values directly into the code that's going to run our world. So let's dive in and explore what that actually means. To really get a handle on the stakes here, let's just put ourselves in the AI's mind for a second. Picture this. A self-driving car is cruising along when suddenly a pedestrian trips and falls right into its path. Okay, an emergency stop would save him. But in the back seat, a little girl has just unbuckled her seatbelt. That same emergency stop would be fatal for her. Now the AI has just milliseconds to make a choice. Save the child or save the pedestrian. So what's the right answer? Is there one? Who gets to decide? And maybe the most important question of all is, how on earth do we write the rules for a machine that's faced with a decision that has no clear, easy moral solution? This right here is the very heart of the AI ethics dilemma. And that one single dilemma, wow, it perfectly illustrates the two-sided coin of AI. On one side, you have this incredible, world-changing promise, and on the other, some really profound peril. Understanding both of these is absolutely the first step to getting why ethics matters so much.
I mean, the promise of AI is just immense, right? We're talking about hyper-efficient supply chains, life-saving medical diagnostics, and scientific discoveries we can't even imagine yet. But, and it's a big but, there's always the peril. AI can amplify our worst biases, it can threaten our privacy with decisions made inside a black box, and ultimately it could completely erode our trust in technology itself. And this brings us to a really key idea. Governance isn't about slowing things down. It's the engineering discipline that prevents regret.
So that leads us to the central challenge for, well, everyone working in this field. It's not really about building a more powerful AI anymore. It's about building a more trustworthy AI. Okay, so how do you do that? How do we actually embed something like trust into a system?
Well, the answer isn't going to be found in some lofty, abstract debate. Nope. It's found in practice, by creating a real, concrete governance toolkit that can turn all those good principles into direct action.
One of the leading voices in this exact shift, from theory to practice, is Walter Lee. He's an adjunct associate professor at the National University of Singapore. He's the CEO of Alpha I International, which provides agentic AI services and solutions, and he's also a certified AI ethics and governance practitioner. His work really gives us a blueprint for how to turn these complex, fuzzy ethical ideas into a verifiable, nuts and bolts engineering discipline.
And this gets us to the absolute core of his work. AI ethics can't just be some fluffy mission statement you stick in a press release. It has to be an operational discipline, something that's built right into the life cycle of every single system, with actual checklists, audits, and real-world testing.
Now you might be thinking, okay, that's one person's idea, but this shift, it is not happening in a vacuum. Around the world, a global rulebook for responsible AI is taking shape, and it's happening fast.
What we're seeing in this new global landscape is that ethics is no longer voluntary. It's not just a nice to have. It's becoming a market requirement. And this requirement is really being built on three key pillars: binding laws, technical frameworks for the entire AI lifecycle, and shared international values.
All right, let's quickly unpack that. In Europe, you've got the EU AI Act, which takes a very firm legal approach. It bans what it calls unacceptable uses and strictly regulates high-risk systems, like those in healthcare. Then, over in the US, the NSSD AI Risk Management Framework offers a more flexible playbook for companies to manage risks from start to finish. And kind of tying it all together, you have global bodies like the OECD and UNESCO, which are establishing the shared, human-centered values that anchor all of these efforts.
Okay, so we've got these big global rules, but what does that actually look like on the ground, in the real world? For a fantastic blueprint of this in action, we can look at the ecosystem that's been built in Singapore. Singapore has taken this idea of operational ethics and just run with it, engineering an entire national ecosystem around it. And their key insight is this: trust isn't a slogan you put on a billboard, it's an infrastructure. So let's see how they built it. They call it the trust stack, and it's really a model for any nation or any company for that matter. It all starts with a solid legal foundation. Then, on top of that, they add standards and certifications so that everybody knows what the benchmark is. Then come the tools, like their AI Verify framework, which actually allows companies to test their systems for things like fairness and transparency. And finally, there's the assurance layer, where they test everything in the real world and then share the evidence. You see, each layer makes the one below it even stronger.
Okay, so let's pull all of this together. What does this all mean for the road ahead? What are the key things we need to remember if we're going to build a future where we can actually trust our technology?
This really leaves us with three core messages. First, governance is an engineering system, full stop. Second, human talent and AI literacy, they're not just skills, they are critical infrastructure. And finally, and this one is so important, ethics and governance are not the brakes on innovation. They are the steering wheel, making sure that we are all heading in a direction that benefits all of humanity.
And that leaves us with this one final powerful thought. The last decade, that was all about proving that AI could work. This decade, the one we're in now, is all about proving how it works, safely, fairly, and accountably. The challenge is no longer just about making AI smarter, it's about making it wiser. It's not just about what AI can do, but making sure we build it to do what is right.